Welcome back to another video. I look mangy right now. Been out all day, but today's video, we're working on the Wagon, 1957 Chevy Wagon. And on the to-do list, let's look. Come over here to the to-do list. See, Wagon. Here we go. There's a bam, 5-speed. 5-speed is on the list today. So let's see what we got for it. Got crossmember from Speedway. Not sponsored or anything. Actually very nicely made, it looks like. Pretty nice welds. Pretty nice thing in general. We got our clutch here. I think it's an 11-inch clutch. There's nothing special here. Pressure plate. All that fancy stuff. It's a whole kit just from Rock Auto. And then still waiting on the flywheel. So, and then I'll have to get a starter as well. And a lot of people probably guessing, oh, T5. No. NV3500. It's an 89 Chevy truck transmission. I think it'll be nice. 5-speed, be fun. There's the old flywheel and stuff. And then I got this shifter, Indy Hurst. Just kind of cut it off and put it onto here somehow. So nothing too special about it, but I think it'll be good in the Wagon and hopefully make the Wagon a little faster and get better gas mileage, which is the biggest thing. So I just moved this up in this position so I can get the engine out and everything. But this is from sitting for like not long. It's the transmission in it is no bueno anymore. It's still that Powerglide, but as you can tell, it's on its last leg. Well, if you haven't seen it, here's the engine. You can watch my other videos when we pulled this out of trees and did all this. But anyways, I gotta take, I don't think I'll have to take the headers off, but I'll have to undo the collectors at least, which is a task in its own. Take the rad support out, not hard, a few bolts. Radiator, obviously, just take all this out. And I think I can do it without taking this off. Take the hood off, obviously. But I think I just take the hood off, take that off, and grab that and just somewhere over here, you know? So, anyways, I'm trying to pull the engine and transmission together because the crossmember they have in there is welded to the frame and not able to come out. And it's also C-channel and just scrap metal put together. So, but one of my legs broke off, so we got a screwdriver as its replacement for the stand. So let's get the hood off and start digging into this. All right, got the rad support out. Oh, it's a little more screws than I remember, to be honest. We got wiring mess now that was all attached to it. So now I think I'm gonna do the exhaust. I'm just gonna take the exhaust completely out. I need to redo a few things on it. So I'm just gonna take it all the way out. And then I undid the transmission underneath already when I was under there draining the oil. Probably take the distributor cap off. And then, to be honest, it should be ready to yank out the 2 motor mount bolts, and that's it. So let's keep on trucking. So I have not been able to catch a break with this exhaust, and it's always leaking. It's always leaking one. The nuts are always coming off. I destroyed it over the summer on accident, and like this was the side that I just took off. Look at this gasket. And I put a different type of gasket on the other side, so we'll see how that is. And out of these 3 bolts that were in the flange, only one had a nut left on it. I had lock nuts on them. I don't know what to do. I mean, I guess I'll try the double nut on this next time. If you have any suggestions for small block Chevy headers on a Tri-5, just let me know, because there's no clearance and it sucks, so. All right, I do believe this is ready to come out. So, pull the engine hoist over here. I got the exhaust undone, motor mounts are undone, distributor caps off, transmission bolts are undone, transmission linkage is undone. There might be a few wires straggling around, I see right there. Other than that, I think she's ready to come out. Let's get to it. It's out. I didn't like how close we were getting to the Ranchero. It was scaring me, but I got it out. Gonna have to touch up some paint probably, but it's all right. Looks like somebody got murdered under there, but not too bad of a mess. Could have been a lot worse. It's out. Get on that tire and get it set down. All right, engine's out. Of course, had the leaks of coolant. Couldn't let me win too much. Not much to it. I guess we can see how badly stuff's been leaking since it's been in the car. Kind of annoying. I don't know. I think it's my valve covers that have been leaking, but we'll have to address that. Gotta get a new starter for sure. That bad boy is gonna go to the back of the shed for storage until I find something else that I want to put it in. I don't want to put it in anything, but that I will put it in. Awful, and it's not a good transmission after sitting for so long. Gonna put the hood back on here, get this pushed outside. We're back. So I got the transmission here. I got it out the other day, you saw. Sorry, my hair's in my face. Fix that. Okay, you got the engine transmission out. Push the car outside where it belongs. There's nothing in it that I care about enough, so now need to get the automatic transmission off, and then we're going to deep clean the new transmission. I got some degreaser and scrapers and stuff like that, so that's our mission now. Get that transmission off, clean that one up, and put it out. I also got my, these are the flywheel bolts, or whatever. Got my flywheel, it's pretty nice. Pretty happy with it, just rock auto, so. Well, made a mess as always. Isn't that right, kitty? Kitty, kitty, kitty. Anyways, got the transmission off. Made a mess. Look at this. Just chilling. That one's tight. The other one. That one's tight, so just the one came loose, which is scary, but better than all of them, I guess. All right, so I got the engine cleaned up a little better. Got the grease off the back. It wasn't, I just brake cleaned it and it all came off for the most part. So I did a little more cleaning on the intake. Just need a hose or something over here to spray it off. And I got the new transmission, Bacon. Used a whole can of this degreaser on it. So I'll let it sit for a few days and then rinse it off with a hose. I got the old transmission with all the stuff to put it into a small block setup. So probably get rid of the starter. I got to have to get a different starter because the 168 tooth flywheel is the new one, and then everything else is ready to go into something else when the time comes. I took the transmission, power washed it, got it all halfway clean. I'm gonna change the fluid in it because it looked, well, that's it right there. It looks a little watery. I'm gonna do that, but looks much better, and I might actually feel okay moving it around now. Got the engine kind of cleaned up. I think that's where we're at last time. Got the wagon lifted up so I can work underneath it. Be a lot easier. So underneath, I need to cut this transmission mount out and try to clean up their massive welds here. I guess it might actually be bolted. I never noticed that. I guess that is bolted in, so that might make it a little easier. Same thing right there. They double nutted it up there. Actually, I don't know what that is. I think it's like a lug nut and some other stuff. But take this out, and then I guess I'll cut this out and grind it down as well and see where. Then I just gotta see where the transmission stuff lines up in here and go from there. Alright, this is the transmission brace that was in there. I think it's homemade, but I'm kind of thinking it might not be, but they had it bolted, surprisingly, and they had a few, they had some spacers, you can see there, and all those washers were on the other one. So, just goes across there. Honestly, I might just see if it'll, like where the new one sits, and I mean, it might be in the same spot, we'll just see, but I just gotta pull the drive shaft out now, and then do some measurements and see if I really need to cut anything out that's down here. Alright, I'll throw the flywheel on real quick, and then try to put my clutch on, and then maybe try to line up the transmission and get the engine and transmission all assembled, and then I guess put it in there and then start lining stuff up. Alright, so I got that in. Gotta clean it up, obviously. But I gotta put the pilot bearing in, and then the clutch stuff, the alignment tool, all that fancy jazz, and then see if we can get the transmission bolted up. Alright, got the pilot bearing in there without trying to destroy it. But this 10mm socket with the taper fits perfect in there. So I hit it like that. It didn't seem to do any damage to the pilot bearing or to this. You can see where I tried like on the outside with another, like a bigger socket like this. That does damage to the thing. So this, like 10mm on the inside, worked really well for that installation actually. So now I'm gonna throw the clutch disc on and the pressure plate, the little alignment tool, and we'll get that figured out and see what it wants to do. Those are all hand tight. So then we'll get our clutch alignment tool. You guys can see this all right. Yep. So we're gonna get our clutch alignment tool, and you can see back in there. So that little tip right there, gonna go way back in there into the pilot, whatever, pushing up in there. And then the splines will line up the clutch, line it right into the middle, so it acts as a transmission shaft pretty much. And then we'll tighten down all these bolts all around, and that'll hold it in place, and then the transmission will be ready to put right back on. All right, got that on there, I guess. It was a little rough at the end there, but I think the pilot bearing and grease and stuff are just a little tight in there. So it went on though. It looked like it lined up good. It's pretty cool to see manual on the back of the 327 I built, but there's that. It's still dirty even though I washed it earlier, but whatever. I guess I think that's a good stopping point for today. Just need to put that back in the car now, so not really much I can do, but I gotta get the car back down. I shouldn't have raised it up. I don't know why I did, but whatever. I need food. I'm hungry, so that's a good stopping point. We'll stop there today, and then I'll catch up with you guys when I go to put the engine back in. All right, so we're back. Got the engine, as you can see. Got the car jacked up. Currently have so there. Got this jack holding the transmission up there. I'll get you up there in a second. But the only issue we had going back in was had to take the shifter off. It's too tall, but I should have known right away. But went in pretty smooth, not much to get in the way, so kind of expected, but get underneath and see what we're working with underneath. Getting underneath, oh, we have transmission. So I got it bottomed out right now, it looks like. Now you can see a little better. So I got it bottomed out right now. That rag is where the shifter is at. It looks like it's about even with that license plate, that yellow license plate, which is perfect for up top. I'll show you in a second. And as you can see here, this is the old mount, the old transmission mount for the Powerglide. You got about 2 or 3 inches over, and we have the mount for the new one. So you can see a little better there. Yeah, you can see the difference. And somehow or another, I gotta get this in here. Something like that. So I think you can see this. It's gonna go just like that. Then get bolted into the side of the frame here. So bolts will go through there. For the time being, I'll probably just use self-tappers or something until I can get it welded. And then bolts to it. And then you have side-to-side play. Just down to get it perfect wherever you need it. Let's see where that put us. Not too far. So that's 17, right in the middle there. So that, in theory, the transmission's sitting up with the frame now. So got that one. I just self-tappered for the time being, so they just kind of line up. Get a good idea where they're gonna be at least. So I'm gonna take this cross brace off, pull that screw out, and then put the real screws in, and then put the bolts in, and this will be installed. down. This above it now. Just like that, installed. It's got nylons on the bottom, fine thread, which is pretty cool. Self tappers. I will probably end up tack welding this to the frame, but those self tapper things are pretty tight. So it looks like I might put it on backwards. I don't know. I don't see how it'll matter either way, so it's okay. Looks pretty good. I got the jack out from under it, so it's supporting all the weight right now. Went very easy actually, surprised, so can't complain too much. Find where the shifter's at under there. It was kind of even with this yellow sign, so I pulled all that up and I could feel it. It's here, but now it's a matter of trying to get it, you know, exactly where it's at. So. Got the hole cut. It's pretty good. I do need to get some more of these bolts for this because these ones are not really doing their job. Can't really tell if it goes through all the gears because we're missing a pedal, but I can feel it go side to side. I might cut this a little bit wider out, just in case the transmission's sitting there shaking when it's running, but you probably will. So I'll cut that out a little bit wider and get the bolt situation figured out. Now this is the stock shifter for this NV3500. Obviously, it's not going to work out very well. It's kind of like against the seats. I don't even think I could get into first or second, how it is. So I have this. It's also ugly and rubber. So I have this Indy Hurst shifter. Gonna weld a nut onto the end of it, or like all thread, like this has on it. I might take it out of here and gonna weld it on there, kind of at an angle, so this is higher up, and so this can up here. I don't know. I might end up getting a new shifter for that, so we'll have to see. That's probably where I'll stop here today. Got the engine in, transmission in, the hole cut in the floor, so pretty good progress. We got the clutch pedal next, which is a slave cylinder and stuff, so I got to figure out where I'm going to put that in relation to the brake pedal and stuff. So that might be a little trick. There's not much room there, but pretty good progress. I mean, shifter in, kind of. I mean, not the final. Transmission in, transmission brace in. Pretty good progress. Now it's just the pedal and bleeding the pedal and all that, and then we'll be on to getting a drive shaft made for it and be hitting the road. All right, so it's pretty loud in here because I got the heater going, but it's too cold not to have the heater going. So I'll try to talk over it. Hopefully you can hear me just fine. It's not that critical thing anyways. So we got the drive shaft back from the drive shaft shop. I mean, it's looking pretty good. Hopefully it's the right length. I got the U-bolts here, or U-joints, whatever you want to call them. I guess these are U-bolts. Those are U-joints. But looks pretty good. Their welds look all right, good enough for me. But let's throw this in and Shouldn't need to do anything other than that. We'll just put some lubricant on there before we put it in. So this is a starter I got. It's a Jegs Pro Start. So anyways, it's meant for manual and automatic. You just choose which hole you use there. And so it's pretty straightforward. The instructions just tell you how to shim it and measure it and stuff. So it's pretty nice. Comes with mounting hardware as well and shims, which is awesome. I don't think I ever had a starter that came with the bolts. They are hex heads, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Or they're Allen, but whatever. But it looks really nice. It's super heavy, so pretty good quality, I'm assuming. And very simple, which I like, and compact, which I was going for. That's in there. Don't want to film myself there. 0.5 so you can see what we're looking at. It looks kind of goofy because, I don't know, just how the old one was mounted and this. There's a bunch of weird gaps and stuff, but looks like it might work. I don't know. Maybe we'll just have to see. All right, so I got the starter installed. You can kind of see it right there. I got it wired up. Hook up our battery. Key on. Boom. It works.
6.5 hours later.
I don't even know how long after it is. I didn't do a very good job filming on this, but on the clutch here. So I'll kind of show you what I did for the clutch and the transmission. And you kind of have to go with that because I didn't do very good filming after a while. I kind of got in a rush, got another car I had to get done, which was that little Falcon. So I'll kind of show you the transmission. I've been driving it for a few days now with the transmission. It's been doing pretty good. So I'll show you what issues I had as well. So little things that I did not do a very good job at filming yet. All right, so for the clutch master, I just mount it right here, right between the hood hinge and the booster. It's close, but it fits. And then inside, I think I showed this, but anyways, drilled a hole through the pedal, got a plastic spacer, washer on both sides of the heim joint, nut, and then you got, yeah, all that to kind of make it work, and it actually feels really good and works pretty good. So did something right there. Stuff's falling down here. Feels really nice, honestly. And then the car's really hot right now, so I'm not gonna get under it, but that line running across goes down there. See my starter, and that electrical tape, or that heat tape. Right there is my clutch master down there. And I just ran a line all the way down to it, and pretty simple, and it just works. So there's not much to that. We put the new drive shaft in, and then just got everything hooked up, and it kind of just works. So I can't complain too much. I did have an issue with the top of the shifter leaking, and it still is kind of leaking. I think it's like just seeping now. So, I mean, that's annoying, but it is what it is kind of thing. So I think I got it. The gasket was on wrong, so I think I put it on right this time. So it still seeps and the thing's all warped up. So I need a new gasket for that. Top of the shifter. Other than that, it's working awesome. Feels awesome. At 78 miles per hour, sits at about 2,500 RPM, which is perfect for me. And then at about 60, 63, it sits at like 1,800 to $2,000. So super good. Very happy with that. That should help the fuel economy a lot. Save on the old wallet a little bit. But that'll be it for the clutch video, or in the transmission video. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for next time.